Greetings, and welcome to the Library of Deep Knowledge. I am Naho the Storyteller, and I have a tale to tell you. Today I am joined by Wild.
Hi.
And Crystal will be joining us very shortly. As we continue Tokyo Necro. Remind me where we left off, Wild. It was, Ethica was preparing to... it was Ethica, Rorschach, and...
The girls were here to kick ass. I'm forgetting what the name of that government spook is at this particular moment. But yes, it's Ethica Rorschach, who's the immortal big-titted lady. And...
Mitsumin, right?
Yes, I think she's the one, ponytail, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about to all go on, for various reasons, they're all teaming up to perform the final crash out on the government. That is the police, right?
Yeah, the military police. Also, Momo's here. Hi, Momo. Momo?
She needs a second to phase in.
Hello.
Oh, there you are.
I can't stay for long today. I sent it in the chat.
Yeah, I saw. I'm just glad you're here at all. Alright, do we want to wait for Crystal before we get started, or... I mean, she'll be here in a little bit.
Yeah, if we have an estimate on her, sure.
Yeah, we don't have an estimate. She just said she'll be there. And she said that 20 minutes ago. So really, that's the only information I've got. Let's get this started at least a little bit. Yes, we last left off, it was right to Sone's perspective. Also, Kiriri was shaking while Captain Nagisa tied her up in the corner of the dispensary. After that, I followed...
A moment, Naho. You aren't sharing.
Yeah, we can't see
Oh shit,
it.
you're right. I knew I was forgetting something. Thank you.
Alright.
After that, I followed my orders and took her to Major General Kibanohara's office.
It says you minimize your application.
Yeah, it's saying stream paused. You minimized it.
I haven't.
Just saying what Discord is saying.
Oh, Discord, why are you doing this? Is it up now?
Let's take a look.
It's loading for me.
Yeah, it's still loading. Showing up as a gray screen.
Yeah.
I hate Discord!
It's still nothing?
It's still gray for me.
Oh,
But I had that issue for like a few days already, so.
oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I don't know, whenever I tried, like, whenever my friends started sharing me something, it's always been like gray for at least some time, like longer than usual.
So it's... Technical difficulties that aren't my fault are my favorite.
Yeah, I love being powerless to things outside of my control. It's a very common theme nowadays, I've heard. Well, here's what we could do in the meantime. It might not be great, but we can work with the stream delay because it is showing on your Twitch stream, so we'll look at that.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Alright. Yeah, better than nothing.
Alright. In that case,
Good work.
Aso Kiriri is no longer showing any signs of resistance. She's wearing a pair of stun cuffs and even a blackout collar, making it virtually impossible for her to do so. Yet, even without her restraints, she doesn't look like she has any willpower left to resist.
Why won't you kill me? Haven't you already murdered everyone else? So why keep only me?
CQAMA is designed to combat necromancy. During the Sino-American War, we conducted thorough research on the technology wielded by necromancers.
Hello, Marcus. We are having technical difficulties, but we're working through them.
Hello.
We learned that regardless of how carefully one goes about fashioning a hi-fi, their emotions would start to degrade after 2 weeks without fail. As their emotions withered away, their mental capabilities would also begin to deteriorate. Quite drastically, in fact.
What's your point?
I'm expecting great things from you. My hope is that you will help shoulder my sins and join me in setting Tokyo on the correct path. How about it, Aso Kiriri? Will you take Asa Yukari's place in sharing this burden with me?
Kiriri looks at Major General Kibonohara with a scowl that could kill. I may have lost most of my emotions, but even I can tell how furious she is right now. A long, heavy silence endures. The first to break it is Captain Nagisa, standing guard nearby.
Major General Kibanohara.
I know.
Being master and servant, the Major General and Captain Nagisa are connected by an invisible thread which allows them to communicate without the need for words. The Major General brings up a hollow screen with a multi-flick. It shows an image of a strider belonging to the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. It's heading straight for the military police headquarters. Ignoring security robots' warnings to stop, it crashes through a checkpoint without so much as slowing down. An alarm is triggered, activating a contingent of gray chameleons stationed nearby. They each fire a volley of bullets from their MK-48 cannons. The Karasuzumi Strider returns fire with its own 30mm quad-mount autocannon. Muzzle flashes illuminate the screen while the speakers roar with the sound of gunfire. Even as the gray chameleons block its path and fill it with bullets, the Strider continues its advance, attempting to break through to the military police building by making clever use of its extendable legs. Despite its best efforts, though, the Strider is severely outnumbered. It ends up getting toppled over just before reaching the entrance. Sparks fly forth from the Strider's legs while its caterpillar track, unable to touch the ground, spins helplessly in the air. The gray chameleons take aim and open fire. An explosion follows, blotting out the screen with white smoke. Actually, it's not just a simple explosion. Mixed in with the fire and smoke is something brought about by the gray chameleons themselves, something the Strider had planned for in advance. But even that soon becomes difficult to make out. Many of the hot pipes in the area were damaged in the firefight and are leaking steam onto the streets, blocking visibility.
So this was their true aim all along.
Major General Kibanohara says, nodding to himself. On his screen, he sees a large number of stolen vehicles gathering together. Downtown Tokyo is replete with stolen vehicles whose ROSs have been hacked. As they do not receive maintenance, their internal systems are largely out of date, with various security holes still intact. It would only take one talented hacker and a virus to have them all infected and exploited as obedient drones. The possibility for something like that to happen has always been there. And right now, it's become a reality. Like a group of loyal zombies, the stolen vehicles follow the instructions of their master and speed toward the military police headquarters. There's well over 100 of them in total, making it virtually impossible to tell which one is occupied by Ethica and her allies. Captain Nagisa springs into action without even needing an orally voiced command from the Major General.
What are you going to do? If we can't pinpoint which car they're in, we'll just have to destroy every single one.
Oh, it was a shout, apparently. Kiriri's shout is aimed not at Captain Nagisa, but the one who gave the order for the attack, the Major General.
Hokoyasu, stop this madness! Don't you love Ethica? She's your own daughter, your flesh and blood.
Exactly. She carries that tainted, detestable blood. And should never have been born.
A loud crash can be heard from the speakers next to Major Osso. The image displayed via the hologram shows a horrific scene. Stolen cars are launching suicide attacks at the building from all directions, charging headlong into a hailstorm of bullets. The frame of a civilian vehicle is no match for the cannons of the Grey Chameleons. The speeding cars attempt to use the hot pipes as a shield in order to delay the inevitable. A sonic wall of gunfire, explosions, and hissing steam bears down upon us. Thick, billowing smoke envelops the screen. As the stolen vehicles rush toward their doom. As the on-screen destruction unfolds, Major Osso levels another question at the Major General.
Why do all this? You've already murdered all those innocent officers. Killing Kibanohara Ethica would have been child's play for you. Didn't you spare her out of love?
No. I simply still had use for her.
But my mother... She says you're a kind man.
And I repaid Sori Ayaka's words with a bullet.
A massive explosion rings out in the distance. As countless cars crash into each other, a series of gunshots ring out from beyond the veil of rising smoke. Someone's returning fire. In response, every strider and security robot in the area begins to lay down concentrated fire at the same time. Their remotely coordinated shots tear through the smokescreen with terrifying efficiency. The ensuing deluge of bullets leaves no chance for survival.
I'm done with the past.
Major General Kibanohara aims a re-eliminator at Major Osso's head.
It's time to end this.
Major General Kibanohara. My X-brain displays a suggestion. My subconscious has singled out the relevant fragments from the vast archive of image data available to it. The soul link tethering me to my master is strong. My intentions are wordlessly communicated to Major General Kibanohara.
Did the X-Brain find it?
Yes. The Major General silently lowers his re-eliminator. His expression, often described as an unflinching mask of steel, displays a faint hint of emotion. Obeying his command, I draw closer to my master. He gently runs a hand over my X-Brain helmet. His eyes narrow. He's looking at me, but I'm not the one he sees.
Very well. I'll tell you why kindness died out from my heart. And why Kibanohara Ethica is the single greatest sin I've ever committed.
I think I know where that's going.
Oh.
Crystal!
Hello!
You joined at probably the most perfect time possible. How much of that did you catch?
The old man finds Ethica the greatest sin he's ever made. Horrible sadness.
Okay. Well, you're up, Crystal.
Oh, great, because for some reason I can't see the stream. So
Yeah, we have to work with
Yeah, they're just using the
with the delay.
stream itself because
Maybe you could try sharing your desktop? So weird.
okay, hold on then. I will
sharing desktop.
it.
Let's try that then.
use it. What is going on? Okay, at least I can see that. Okay, let's go.
All right, this one's working.
This one's good so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we
let's
can
go.
see that.
Stolen cars rush onto the battlefield one after another. Mitsumin, Rorschach, and myself are watching it all unfold from atop a pipe runner. The one controlling the cars is Sue. In fact, this entire plan was her brainchild. Every single one of these cars is actually just a decoy. According to Sue, after must never fully reveal her hand until it's absolutely necessary. Not even we knew that she had her own personal army of exploited vehicles. In order for us to bypass the heavy fortifications of the building and sneak in, we needed some way to distract them. And it looks like we've accomplished just that.
Let's not waste any more time.
The one engaging the striders and security bots in the smoke is a hi-fi living dead under Rorschach. Yeah, Rorschach's command. Thanks to a nano-chip smokescreen, the enemy probably hasn't been able to determine what exactly they're firing at just yet. While the military police's attention is focused on our decoys, we make it all the way to their headquarters using a pipe runner. Model number MF399. Love to go all the way to the top like this, but the bastard surveillance system is rock solid. We owe you one, Sue.
Please, save them.
Sure thing. I flashed Sue a reassuring grin before climbing off the pipe runner. The military police HQ blocks transmission to the outside. We're going it alone from here. Okay, girls, we're gonna make it through this. I bust out my custom AA-24.
Oh yeah, who's gonna be Mitsumin?
I don't know. Or wild.
Fuck it, Wild, you do Mitsumin.
Hell yeah!
Of course. Even if it kills us.
Mitsumin readies her Yoshimari.
I'll be happy to resurrect you if you do.
Rorschach smiles with her karambit knife in hand. 3 hot chicks storm at the bad guy's stronghold to save some resistant hostages. And just thinking about it is getting me all fired up. The first floor is an entrance hall with an open ceiling. The old man's probably in his office at the top. In other words, floor 50. Since we don't know for sure where Kiriri is, it makes the most sense to start there. The only question is, how will we'll reach that floor?
What are you doing here?
Oh, it sure didn't take long for a guard to notice us. What now? I can even finish that thought. The crimson radiance of Mitsumin's Shishomaru cuts through the air.
I think you need to start that line over.
Yeah, something. Well, okay. Before I can finish that thought, the crimson radiance of Mitsumin's Shishomaru slices through the air and decapitates the heavily built man with one swift strike. Blood sprays all over the walls, the dusky red in color, meaning this guy was the living dead.
I suppose they must have been in a hurry.
With extra effort, the blood circulating inside the living dead can be dyed red. It's not that hard to do. The fact they did it can only mean they needed to create a large number of living dead in a short period of time.
Freeze!
Drop your weapons!
Eat lead, you zombie fox! My ex-brain would probably not authorize me to open fire here. Good thing I don't give a shit. I start unloading my shotgun on the bastard. Bang, bang, bang! Their heads pop open like ripe melons, painting the floor dusky red. We're only just getting started, though. Things are about to get real frisky in here. Necromancers are in complete sync with their undead creations. If a ghoul senses something, so will the master. They can also control them like puppets. Meaning, once they've become aware of your presence, there's little point in hiding. Let's fucking go! A number of living dead pop their heads out from behind cover and start firing at us from the second floor. When I see their heads, I squash them like I was playing zombie whack-a-mole.
There.
A number of officers outside take notice of the disturbance in the building and come rushing in, only to be met by Mitsumin and Rorschach. Damn! We actually make a surprisingly good team! I already knew Mitsumin was one hell of a fighter. But Rorschach's only holding her own pretty well too. Her Grombit lights up bright red, cutting through the hordes of the undead like a literal hot knife through butter. In contrast with Mitsumin's firm and uncompromising style, Rorschach flows across the battlefield like a mollusk through seawater, making sport of her undead assailants with graceful ease. Military police officers go down one after the other, but there's simply no end to them. We'll have to get through the open escalator before we can reach the low-level elevators that'll take us up to the 32nd floor. If we rush in there without a plan, though, we'll be Swiss cheese in no time. Granted, most of the officers we're up against only carry standard-issue military police handguns, meaning they shouldn't be able to take us out that easily. But if we so much as slow down, they'll easily overwhelm us through sheer numbers.
Nah, you did good. He'll be there any second now.
Who will? The moment Rorschach utters that, something blasts through the entrance. Its arrival is accompanied by a serenade of gunshots. However, they all come from one person. Or rather, one creature. Its outward appearance might make it seem like a machine, but it's actually a hi-fi living dead under Rorschach's control. There's a different weapon in each of its 8 hands. And it doesn't hesitate to unleash a barrage of bullets from them. The attention of the military police officers is immediately shifted towards the creature. Wasting no time, Mitsumin takes the lead. She dashes up the narrow escalator and reaches the top in one swift go. Then proceeds to decapitate the distracted living dead officers one by one.
Impressive.
With movements as light as a feather, Rorschach hops up to the 2nd floor, grinning all the way. For some perspective, she's willingly thrown herself into a battle where a hi-fi is letting bullets loose from 8 different guns. It'd be unthinkable under any other circumstances. Thankfully, Rorschach happens to be the master of the hi-fi in question. Her movements are in complete sync with the creatures, giving off the impression that the bullets themselves are evading her. Damn. I can't let her steal the show like that! I leap onto the escalator myself. Several living dead come after me, but I re-eliminate them with blasts from my shotgun, using the handrails as cover. That 8-armed freak down there will no doubt take care of the rest. Meanwhile, the belt steadily carries me up to the 2nd floor. I'm standing in a literal heap of corpses. Mitsumin shakes the blood off her sword with a firm swing.
It took you long enough.
The smell of seared flesh and blood follows Rorschach like a shadow. Her thermocrumbit has been busy. The military police officers stationed on the 2nd floor have all but been wiped out. Well, geez, who me? After making my way past the corpses lying on the floor, I head deeper into the building. The hallway housing the elevators that'll take us up to floor 32 is shrouded in gloom. The ceiling seems like it's miles above. I press the call button and start reloading my shotgun's drum magazine while waiting for the elevator to arrive. I can still hear the echoes of the ongoing battle from downstairs. That hi-fi sure puts up one hell of a fight. Hey, Rorschach. What made you create a thing like that?
An acquaintance insists that I do it.
An acquaintance?
He was apparently inspired by a statue of the Buddha.
Seriously?
Enough chit-chat, you two.
An elevator has arrived, as signaled by a chime.
Yeah, I figured.
The person who steps out of it is someone I know all too well. Hokoyasu's twin re-eliminators spew fire and bullets. But Mitsumin's reaction comes fast as lightning. She kicks off the wall and leaps into the air to evade Stone's shots, only to come swooping down on him a second later with her trusty Shoshibaru in hand. Is that me or is
Yeah, that's you.
who's this with? I'm not letting her hog the spotlight, though. Bullets whiz past me, but none land a hit. I press on one without hesitation and thrust the bayonet of my gun at Zone. He blocks both of our blades at the same time, one with each re-eliminator. I'd almost want to applaud his skills if we weren't fighting to the death. Our deadlock is soon broken. Yeah.
Wild.
That's me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Mitsumin then goes on the offensive. She launches a powerful swing, which Stone gracefully evades with a cartwheel. The blade misses him, leaving only a gust of wind to graze his shoulder. The moment Stone lands, he retaliates with his muzzle spikes. You dumbass! How dare you do that to Mitsumin! And stop hopping around like the goddamn Easter Bunny! And X-Brain suggestions become more precise, more reliable, the more data has been accumulated on one target. Which means he knows exactly how to deal with me. I freeze up, but just before Stone can get me, a decapitated head of a living dead comes flying towards us. It was thrown by Rorschach. We can use Stone's momentary distraction. She silently glides closer and latches onto him. Before sinking her thermokarambit into his chest.
Mama?
Bet you've got no data on me.
The blade sears his hot flesh with a loud hiss. it'd be a mortal wound for any living person. But Nago Kasone is already dead. You gotta aim for the head under that X-Brain helmet of his, or his neck, which connects to his torso. Sone, of course, knows exactly what we're planning. I grip Rabbit Punch and dash towards him. Wielding her, Soshimaru Mitsumin follows suit. Hunted by 3 separate blades, Sone leaps into the air to escape. It discharges a hail of bullets that come raining down upon us in a wide trajectory. Unfazed, we chase after him. I kick myself off the wall and meet his muscle spikes head on before launching a counterattack of my own. Repeating one wall jump after another, we keep on dashing at unbelievable heights.
It's clashing.
Repeating one wall jump after another, we keep on clashing at unbelievable heights. Raw force meets raw force in midair. Trajectory shifting second by second. The combat situation in a state of constant flux. My artificial muscles and rugged hands body are close to buckling under their overwhelming pressure. When it comes to predicting your opponent's next move, Sone's X-Brain has a clear advantage over us. The more time passes, the more information it gathers on its opponent, allowing it to learn and adapt. As our clashes grow in intensity, so does his advantage. Being a living dead, Sone isn't hindered by fatigue or exhaustion. In the end, both Rorschach and I get viciously slammed into the ground.
Go!
Gripping the hilt of Soshimaru, Mitsumin steps forward to shield us. Behind us is the open elevator. In fact, Rorschach's already taken cover inside.
Ethica!
My true opponent is Kibanohara Hokoyasu. He's the one I'm here for. Hell, if I had my X-Brain on, it'd probably tell me to keep going. But I can't just leave Mitsumin to fight Sone on her own.
Let me do this.
I see. She's got a score to settle with him, and this is her one chance. Alright. I throw myself into the open elevator. I'm counting on you to come out of this alive, Mitsumin, even if it kills you.
The doors of the elevator close. My orders are to kill Kibanohara Ethica. But there's someone getting in the way of that objective. The battle begins in a flash. Evade, deflect, parry. Oh god, is that coming through my mic?
What is?
A snowblower right outside my window.
A little, but it's not debilitating, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, Marcus absolutely heard it. My body mechanically follows the X-Brain suggestions. Soshimaru, Mitsumi's ultrasonic vibroblade, tears through everything it touches. I will need to avoid taking direct hits as much as realistically possible. Mitsumi's blade moves considerably faster than I had anticipated. My X-Brain suggestions are having a hard time keeping up. For a moment, it almost seems like I'm about to get re-eliminated. But I manage to dodge out of the way by a hair's breadth. I begin to wonder why that is. But the fierce battle leaves me no time to think. Our fight is the constant ebb and flow of offense and defense. Meanwhile, the gunfight raging on the lower floors has grown increasingly more violent. The 8-armed hi-fi has been holding its ground quite fiercely, successfully pushing back the military police personnel that engaged it. Having grown impatient, Major General Kibanohara appears to have gone so far as to send gray chameleons into the building. An ear-splitting explosion of unprecedented power resounds across the atrium. Stray bullets shatter the windows, while the monument in the middle of the hall collapses from the sheer force of the ensuing shockwave. There's only one way left for me to emerge victorious in this battle. Following my X-Brain's instructions, I activate my MPP and leap down onto the lower floor through the open ceiling.
Wait!
Chasing after me, Mitsumi descends as well. We stare each other down in silence for a good moment. She stands in front of the hi-fi living dead. Meanwhile, the gray chameleons are behind me. We seem to have dropped down right into the middle of their battle. The threat of re-elimination hangs over me like a cloud. Placing my trust in my X-Brain, I open fire at Mitsumi. That 8-armed living dead is another foe to consider, but my main target is her. Similarly, the gray chameleons behind me ignore the swift-moving Mitsumi and instead proceed to re-engage the hi-fi. Mitsumi and I clash against each other in a battle where death is only a breath away. My re-eliminators meet the crimson flash of her Shoshimaru in a fast-paced crescendo of blows and bullets. I am a blade, a bullet, an instrument used to kill. A machine converting the X-Brain's input into output. The battle appears to shift in my favor. Mitsumi's overwhelming prowess starts to gradually wane. I've lured her into a trap devised by my X-Brain. The true strength of Gijo Mitsumi lies in her ability to acutely predict her opponent's moves. She's constantly several steps ahead of her foe, and is able to adapt to any situation with a staggering level of precision and coordination. As for me, my strength comes from the form of my X-Brain-aided decision-making skills. It's something I managed to fully tap into during that battle in the elevator hall. The reason I successfully overcame Ethica and her allies is because the walls on each side made complex evasive maneuvers possible. Furthermore, having multiple people involved in the battle made it difficult for them to predict my movements. But simply, in order for me to succeed, the fight needs to be sufficiently complex. In a battle like this, with bullets flying left and right, Mitsumi isn't able to devote all her attention to just me. My muzzle spikes deliver blow after blow to her body. Even if my bullets fail to penetrate her reinforced bodysuit, the physical impact of each strike is anything but insignificant. The more damage she takes, the slower her movements become. It's only a matter of time until I overwhelm her. My plan, however, is abruptly cut short by a wall of smokescreen. Having seemingly decided that it can no longer repel the attacks of multiple gray chameleons, the 8-armed hi-fi used a smoke grenade. The entire area is blanketed in white fog in the blink of an eye. An abrupt silence descends. Not wanting to waste bullets, each side has ceased fire. Mitsumi focuses all her attention on me.
Ha!
Her unfaltering blade is like a bolt of crimson lightning. I retaliate by firing my re-eliminators, but Mitsumi ducks out of the way and uses that momentum to charge at me from below. Immediately after I jump up to evade her attack, I realize that my X-Brain suggestion had displayed something different from what I just did. I fell into her trap. Mitsumi delivers an upward slash. With no means of evading the attack in the air, I make a desperate attempt to twist my body to the side. However, her blade sinks into the flesh of my left leg, leaving a wound deep enough to expose the bone. But that's all it is, a physical injury. For a living dead like myself, it's hardly anything to be concerned about, nor will it hinder my movements. Were you holding back? You could have easily re-eliminated me. Mitsumi's expression changes, but I don't quite understand why. I have trouble reading her. After a moment, she finally parts her lips to speak.
I merely returned a favor.
A favor?
That night at the old Odaiba district, you didn't kill me when you had the chance. I did the same just now.
She's right. I could have very easily finished her off. But I didn't. And I no longer have it in me to comprehend why.
Nagaoka-san, I have but one question left for you.
Through the veil of smokescreen, I can see Mitsumi's silhouette point the tip of Shoshimaru's blade, now stained a faint hue of red, straight at my neck.
Do you still possess any emotions?
Emotions? I don't know. I've already forgotten what it's like to feel. However, when I think about Hogyo Iria, a faint warmth blooms in my chest. But even that will soon vanish.
Very well.
Mitsumi's solemn voice seems to tremble ever so slightly.
The least I can do, then, is to put you to rest myself.
And then the printer finishes, right? Because he started that up before he jumped down. Her blade descends on me in a flash of crimson steel. I manage to narrowly avoid it thanks to my X-Brain, but Mitsumi doesn't let up. I'm receiving alert after alert. Soon enough, my vision's filled with a flood of icons. I used to be able to keep up with them, but I'm a living dead now. I'm not nearly as quick and responsive as I was in life. I managed to just barely stave off her attacks, but Mitsumi is not one to be outdone by half-hearted techniques. As I start to lose more and more ground, I mentally prepare myself for re-elimination. If it's Mitsumi that finishes me off, I don't even mind dying.
Nagaoka-san, I used to revere you. The way you fight now, it's almost painful to look at.
Reverence. Pain. I fail to comprehend her words. They ring hollow in my ears. but she's probably stating the truth. I can still tell that much at least.
I'll end you myself, Nagaoka. Only death can redeem you now.
I love you, Mitsumi. The words that leave my lips aren't mine. It was Major General Kibanohara, my master, that forced me to say them. But they've given me just enough of an opening to use my freshly printed specialty bullet. I place it into the chamber like I've done so many times before, and pull the trigger.
Zone.
She utters my name while collapsing, but I don't know how to respond. The bullet I shot her with was filled with a custom-made opioid cocktail bullet. It contains an agonist with a high affinity for mu2 receptors that, once injected into the body, causes the target to lose consciousness and die. Mitsumi will make for a useful ally once turned undead. As such, I was ordered to keep her physical injuries to a minimum. As the smoke screen clears, I see that the eight-legged hi-fi, having received the concentrated fire of the Grey Chameleons, has completely ceased to function.
After leaving Mitsumin on the first floor, Rorschach and I ride the elevator toward the top.
That thing on your head, just for show?
I don't answer her. The X-Brain is a machine used to expand one's subconscious. Knowing that even a split second's worth of hesitation can mean the difference between life and death on the battlefield. It automatically emits superfluous information and presents the user with the only data they require to triumph in combat. In short, it's our one trump card in a fight against the living dead. It's also the logical solution to the problem of the continuous information warfare that unfolded in the South. Forged in the fires of the Sino-American War, it serves as the tangible legacy of the CQAMA training unit and the fruit of Kibanohara Hokuyasu's research. If possible, I'd rather not rely on this thing. But I can't help but wonder how things would have changed had I used it. Would I have stayed behind to help Mitsumin? Or...
Regrets will put you in an early grave. Possibilities are just that. Possibilities. The here and now is the only thing you truly have. So instead of wasting your energy on regret, use it instead to better your future. Looking at you now makes me think Kibanohara Hokoyasu was right.
I've never liked using my X-Brain. But as much as I hate to admit it, it does have its uses. Well, it's saved my skin more than once. That's a fact. And yet, I just can't trust it.
Do you know why Gijo Mitsumi answered the beck and call of the military police? Because she was bound by her past.
Bound?
That's right. Her brother, Gijo Sumihiko, was essentially held hostage by them. So I killed him.
What are you talking about? The military police had held Sumihiko hostage? So Rorschach killed him?
I've lived a long life, and I don't want to be bound by the past, so I've come to put an end to things.
Rorschach, are you saying...
It's time.
The elevator begins to slow down. We've reached the 32nd floor, which will allow us to get to the top. Holding back the urge to question Rorschach further, I rush out the elevator. Drop your weapons!
Do as you're told.
Our little welcoming committee is a group of military police officers. They immediately start firing, not giving us much of a choice to comply with their orders. Fine by me. No mercy, assholes! The shells of my AA-24 hit them clean in the head, painting the low ceiling corridor dusky red with their blood. Let's get this show on the road.
Sure.
Letting Rorschach cover my 6, I break into a sprint and dash down the corridor. My goal is the elevator in the back, the one that goes all the way up to the 50th floor. The building is made up of a north and a south tower. My old man should be in the former. A bunch of fresh guards rush out of a nearby room, but I blow them away the moment I see them. Off, you undead freaks! Honestly, I'm racking up a pretty handsome body count here. They've yet to start decomposing, but their emotions and personalities will never return. There's no need to show mercy when re-eliminating the...
What's wrong?
Don't take this personally, Ethica.
Kazuma's gun is aimed straight at me. Which means that she's already dead. It would have been naive of me to think she's... As I continue to hesitate, a blade soars through the air, interrupting my thoughts. It aims for Kazuma's hand. It slices off the fingers glued to her gun's trigger in a spray of dusky red blood.
Ethica.
Shit. This isn't the time to be getting cold feet. Ugh! Having run out of ammo, I aim for her neck with my bayonet. Kazuma's decapitated body falls limp onto the ground. Meanwhile, her severed head rolls down the corridor before the wall ultimately stops this place. I'm sorry, Kazuma.
Alright, so 2 things about Ethica's armaments. I absolutely love that that rabbit punch has S mark on it, and that the bayonet on her shotgun has 4 E's. That's so good.
Great. A living dead's severed head is capable of functioning even without its body. The Lemures will keep it that way until it completely rots away.
What are you doing? We need to keep going.
I pay close attention to the movements of Kazuma's lips. She's trying to tell me something. She can't make any sounds, but still manages to silently mouth a brief phrase. Area 3015. Her eyes point towards the corridor leading to the hospital. Is that where they're keeping Iria? Kazuma closes her eyes in place of a nod. She retains just enough of her former humanity to ask for help. She Just like that, whatever lingering doubts I still had in me are immediately dissolved. I discard my emptied shotgun and reach for Rabbit Punch. Kazuma too. Looks like she's ready for what's to come. It's the least I can do for her. But it doesn't make it hurt any less. Still, no time to wallow in sentimentality. Not now. I'm gonna find the bastard that did this to Kazuma and make him pay. That's a promise.
Could be a trap, you know.
I'm aware. Necromancers are like puppet masters to their undead minions. I can discount the possibility that Kazuma's final hint might be a trap laid by my old man. I know Kazuma, though. Her heart's always been in the right place. I can't just ignore her final message.
You're on your own then.
Not a problem. Rorschach makes for the elevator that will take her up to the top floor. Sparing her as much as a parting look, I slice some undead guards to pieces with my trusty old Rabbit Punch and continue down the blood-soaked corridor. Up until now, Rorschach and I just happened to share the same objective. I'm not naive enough to think I can force her to help me with this. Here we are, room 3015 of the Military Police Hospital, the place Kazuma told me about. I destroyed the lock with my chainsaw, then forced my way in. I find myself in a somewhat unusual room. The entire place is decorated like some fancy European mansion, making it hard to believe I'm still inside the military police HQ. Even the height of the ceiling has changed, which makes me realize this is probably just a hologram. A damn fine one, though, I'll give him that. The only person who could have made this... Iria?
Ethica?
The lone girl sitting hunched over the desk is none other than Hyogo Iria.
Ethica!
She flies into my arms. I don't even need to check if she's still human or not. If it turns out that a necromancer's making her act this way, then I'll gladly admit defeat.
Why did you come to save me? Oh, did you come to save me?
I mean, you did contact me, didn't you?
Ethica, listen. You need to save Kiriri. Don't have much time.
Still alive, though, isn't she?
Probably. I saw her enter Hokoyasu's office a little while ago.
She input something with a multi-flick. What shows up on the screen is in the Military Police HQ's central control. Is the Military Police HQ's central control system? Iria, is this what you think it is?
Yep. And it's all thanks to Ayuka. She's good with computers.
Iria has essentially been held captive here, without the means to freely contact the outside. I was wondering how she managed to even get in touch with us in the first place. But if sorry, Ayuka, the android I briefly talked to at the Snowbound Nirvana had her back, well, that puts things in a new perspective. Wait. Iria, quick question. Would you be able to shut down all systems within the building?
Sure, no problem.
Iria makes an enthusiastic nod. Oh, if she's been waiting for me to ask that.
The doors open with a chime when the elevator reaches the hall. Just as I'm about to board it, the room goes dark. I take a look around and notice that the elevator hall wasn't the only place affected. Every light in the building, save for the emergency lamps, has gone out. Needless to say, the elevator is also shut down. Its doors remain wide open and won't respond no matter how many times I press the relevant buttons. Major General's orders were clear. I must eliminate Ethica as soon as possible. I cannot afford to wait for the electricity to return. The military police headquarters consists of a total of 50 floors. The living dead may feel no fatigue, but they're not physically faster than someone who's still alive. In other words, I must find a more time-efficient way of getting to the top floor. I step into the unmoving elevator. After breaking through the ceiling of the elevator car, I climb out into the shaft. With no nearby emergency lights to illuminate my surroundings, I find myself wrapped in almost complete darkness. Nonetheless, my X-Brain's ultra-high sensitivity camera allows me to just barely make out what's around me. I'll take a firm hold of the elevator wire with one hand. Meanwhile, my other hand aims a re-eliminator at the joint connecting the wire with the cab. A series of muzzle flashes illuminate the dark of the shaft. The wire itself is fairly sturdy. After all, the elevator is designed to support the weight of all kinds of people, including ones with cybernetic implants. It's still no match for my armor-piercing rounds, though. It's gradually worn down by my continued shots and eventually snaps, unable to support the weight of the elevator any longer. The counterweight located far up in the shaft comes falling down, causing my body to get propelled toward the top. I nearly hit the wall several times as the wire sways, but I steady myself with a few light kicks. It's a danger I calculated for in advance. I am an instrument that must faithfully carry out its given objective, and my current mission is to kill Kibanohara Ethica. Sentimentality would only get in the way of that. Still, I can't help but think back to what the Major General told us back in his office. It sends a ripple through the stagnant lake of my emotions. He called Kibanohara Ethica the single greatest sin he had ever committed, and revealed the truth about her birth. And yet, in order to become the perfect machine, I must weed out all intrusive desires from my mind, including that. Rorschach arrives at the topmost floor of the building. As she steps out of the elevator, she's immediately set upon by an undead guard leaking dusky red blood from a wound on his leg. She grabs him by the head and thrusts her thermokarambit into his eye socket, destroying his brain. Having slept with countless people during her many years as a prostitute, Rorschach is intimately familiar with human anatomy. Knowing the perfect timing and angle to best reach a person's vitals has become second nature to her. She opens the door in the back of the hall. And steps into the office located at the topmost floor of the building. Looking to the side, she notices a bound Aso Kiriri lying on the floor. Her gaze seems somewhat hollow, But Rorschach has no time to contemplate why. There are more pressing matters at hand. The man she came here for has his back turned to her. He casually gazes out the window, admiring the nighttime Tokyo scenery. Kibanohara Hokoyasu.
Rorschach.
We're expecting your daughter. Sorry to disappoint.
It hardly matters.
As Hokoyasu stands up, Rorschach notices that he's wielding two re-eliminators, the twin symbols of the CQAMA training unit.
I will have you take responsibility for the living dead attack on the city.
Sure, I was about to take all kinds of responsibility anyway.
Rorschach lifts her seething hot karambit knife. Hokoyasu dons the X-brain that's been sitting on his desk. It's been a while since she's seen him like this. Rorschach lunges straight at Hokoyasu. Her karambit knife clashes with his muzzle spikes, sending bright sparks across the room. The two are right up in each other's faces. A mere arm's length away from piercing their opponent's heart, in fact. Rorschach and Hokoyasu are both very much aware that in order to deliver a fatal blow, they have to get this close. Rorschach's movements are quick and fluid, like those of a mollusk. Meanwhile, Hokoyasu wields his muzzle spikes with keen efficiency, exerting only as much effort as absolutely necessary. It's a constant back and forth between the two. Rorschach's relentless blows aim for her opponent's vitals with surgical precision, yet Hokoyasu successfully evades each and every single one. With no other options left, she attempts to grab him in a hold, only to receive a fierce counter in return. Hokoyasu's X-brain still retains its past records of Rorschach's combat style from the time the two fought in Malaysia. Suffering is happiness. For someone like her, who was forced to spend countless years suppressing her emotions, even negative feelings hold meaning.
Your skills are just as sharp as they were back then. But your body has aged.
Rorschach inhales a lungful of air, filling herself with fresh oxygen. Her unaging body, coupled with a near-limitless supply of stamina, are her greatest weapons in combat. Knowing no fatigue, Rorschach continues to aim for Hokoyasu's vitals. Her young muscles work at full capacity. Rorschach fails to evade Hokoyasu's powerful hook. His muzzle spikes crash into her knees. The impact of the blow slows Rorschach down, giving Hokoyasu enough of an opening to follow up his punch with several others.
My body may no longer be young, but the experience I've accumulated over the years will never leave me.
X-brains are capable of storing a nigh unlimited amount of data in a holographic cube. The more one uses one, the more effective it will become.
All I need to do is act as a machine that translates the EX brain's suggestions to output.
Dullest thing I've ever heard.
Spitting a mouthful of blood and saliva to the floor, Rorschach once again assumes a combat stance with karambit in hand.
Emotions play a vital role in necromancy. To have mastered the craft to this extent on your own, you must possess some very strong feelings. So why do you continue to hide them?
Crying when you want to. Laughing when the urge strikes you. You dare call that expressing emotions?
Yes.
Yes, that is like literally baseline.
Ridiculous. Only beasts act purely on compulsion.
Hokuyasu's X-Brain has finished estimating how much of a threat Rorschach poses. Now he's going on the offensive. There's not an ounce of glamour in his boxing-inspired technique. If anything, his movements are by the book to the point of being unremarkable. They're hardly comparable to the sheer artistry that Nagaoka Soun brought to the battlefield with his graceful mastery of CQAMA. But artistry relies on talent and cannot be easily imitated. What is the most efficient way to prevent an enemy's counterattack? What is the safest method of killing an opponent? Close quarters armed martial arts is the crystallized culmination of those goals. The end result of taking that mentality to its logical extreme. And Kibanohara Hokoyasu is the former commander of the CQAMA training unit. He's the boss, and this is his style. Wielding her karambit in a reverse grip, Rorschach goes for Hokuyasu's flank, but ends up getting hit clean in the head by an absolute juggernaut of a counterpunch. No matter how much one's skull has been artificially reinforced, it cannot completely absorb oscillations. Hokuyasu's attack sends Rorschach tumbling to the ground.
It's over.
Hokoyasu points a re-eliminator at Rorschach's head. His expression is hidden behind the X-Brain. His expression is hidden behind the X-Brain. She takes a gamble nonetheless.
A man driven mad by love is a pathetic sight indeed.
Hokoyasu is taken aback. It lasts only for a moment, but Rorschach is not one to let that brief opening slip by, and immediately hurls her karambit knife at him. The red-hot blade grazes Hokuyasu's abdomen, but that's all that happens. The thermo-karambit flies past him, falling to the ground with a clink.
You only delayed the inevitable.
Hokuyasu's words are laced with just a touch more emotion than before.
Tell me, did you love Milgram?
Maybe I did.
He was a man who lived only to die. No matter how deep your love might have been, he would have never returned those feelings. Surely you knew that.
Ever considered becoming a counselor?
Hokuyasu's finger tightens on the trigger of his re-eliminator.
I lost the only person I've ever loved. That knowledge will haunt me for as long as I live. And I know that I will never smile again.
That should do it. All systems are down.
So we've kind of figured who exactly Hokoyasu loved, right? Right, guys?
No. He. No. Not study notes. Yeah.
The fact that Crystal's the only one answering is...
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, the one he loved was Soun's dad.
Yes!
The forbidden sin of having a child while you're actually secretly incredibly homosexual.
Exactly!
Why else would he look at that specific X-Brain so lovingly and see someone else in it?
Exactly!
Momo, are you able to stick around for a little bit longer, or do you have to go soon?
I can stay for like 15 more minutes.
Okay. Then let's continue.
Get it going.
Should I do this one again?
Yes, please.
That should do it. All systems are down.
Thanks, Iria. With the power out, the holographic projection that made everything look like the interior of a Western mansion has also been disabled. The place is now back to being the same old hospital room it's always been. In any case, this should deactivate the security bots and help slow down Zone as well. The real question is, how I'm going to get everyone to safety. The fact that Iria's unharmed probably means my old man has no intention of actually doing anything to her. And now that the security bots are out, we could take the could take the stairs and escape that way. But is there time? I briefly contemplate if I should let my X-Brain decide.
Don't worry. I'll just wait here.
Iria speaks up, having no doubt sensed my inner turmoil.
I can take care of myself, you know.
Gotcha. I promise I won't take long.
Oh, there's one thing. There's someone else, here other than Kiriri who's still alive.
To be honest, I wasn't sure if I'd do it. I mean, I came here to rescue Kiriri. And to kick my old man's ass. I'm not some kind of one-woman charity organization. But the hostage Iria was talking about could be of great help to us when rebuilding Tokyo. Saving her is pretty much everyone will benefit from, all things considered. Most importantly, though, I'm sure it'll make Kiriri happy too. Or rather, if she found out I did save her, she'd probably be really disappointed in me. And I don't want that. Thankfully, the room I'm looking for is right below me. Gripping my chainsaw, I descend downstairs and hurry down the dark corridor. Get away! In the dim light of the emergency lamps, I swiftly mow down the undead guard that tries to stop me and continue toward my destination.
Forgive me, Sophia. Forgive me.
As I step into the room, what I see in there makes my body react before my mind can even kick up. My chainsaw flashes in the dark and severs Yamanuma's head from his body. Sophia Kawarazaki remains unresponsive even as the decapitated head of the man who's been raping her falls to the ground, mouthing hollow apologies.
Wow, that just never stopped, huh?
Wow, that's just horrible.
It really is.
It looks like she doesn't even comprehend what just happened. Like, last of the sad. No. They must have put her through some intense torture to undo her mental projections. You okay, Sophia?
Your dad.
No time to explain. We gotta fucking go. As I let the staggering Sophia lean on to me, she speaks up again.
Kibanohara Hokoyasu stole the authorization codes for the power plant.
He who controls the central geothermal power plant controls Tokyo. Realizing what the old man is planning brings my blood to a boil. But right now, I gotta focus on getting Sophia out of here.
You mustn't let him abuse that power.
I won't, which is why I'm getting you out of here. As I pick up Sophia's discarded clothes and cover her with them, I spot a familiar-looking black box in the corner of my vision. It's an STTW, short for sent through the wall. I push Sophia away, jumping back myself. Immediately afterward, the floor where we were standing gets blown open, sending bits of concrete flying through the room. A sniper shot from the floor below. Has to be Tokitaka.
Oh no.
The bullet of his anti-material rifle that tore through the floor was no doubt aiming for me. I take a look around and notice a black STTW box in each corner of the room. Sophia was merely bait to lure me in here. I quickly throw a glance in her direction to check if she's alright, then make for the exit. It's me Tokitaka's after, not her. Do I just destroy the black boxes? Easier said than done. This trap was set up in advance, and if the boxes are hidden with camouflage material, finding them all is going to be difficult. There's no guarantee these boxes are all real or that they're the only ones around. As I waste time contemplating what to do, Tokitaka's bullets continue to pierce through the floor, spraying bits of debris everywhere. I do my best to move as unpredictably as possible while evading his shots. The complex network of building materials and pipes running into the walls seem to be having an adverse effect on Tokitaka's calculations. As a result, I managed to make it out of the room in one piece. Albeit just barely. The hallway doesn't prove any safer though. I didn't even realize it earlier, but there are already multiple STTW boxes laid out on the floor. Maybe I would have noticed them if I had switched my X-Brain on. I start running down the hallway, trying to ignore that brief tinge of regret. The shots along with the pieces of flying debris continue to follow me. Tokitaka's clearly on my tail. I need to go down a floor to engage him, but the entrance to the stairway is frustratingly far away. Actually, there's probably more to it than that. I'm willing to bet Tokitaka has something prepared for me in the stairwell, too. The guy is a strategic genius, after all.
Numbers don't lie.
If I keep going like this, I'm going to be playing right into his hands. Let me tell you, I have no intention of letting that dumbass get the better of me here. About halfway down the corridor leading to the staircase, I suddenly perform a quick back step. Tokitaka was convinced that I would keep running forward, as evidenced by the rifle shots piercing through the floor ahead of me. This is my chance. I gotta make it count. My trusty rabbit punch has what I like to call an overheat mode.
We know.
It makes the engine work at full blast, but necessitates some maintenance afterwards. But since I need rabbit punch in order to do my job, I keep a backup chainsaw for when the one is out of repairs. And an military police building would be crawling with the living dead, which is why I came fully prepared. That's right! Dual chainsaws, baby! Both chainsaw blades into the ground and spin around in a half circle. Cutting open a hole that lets me fall down onto the floor below. Now that's what I call a shortcut. As I spin around, Tokitaka's already waiting for me. He wields his Osaka Water TFT-20 like a naginata. No one else can pull that off. Quite like him. But the Tokitaka behind that X-Brain helmet is no longer the same guy I used to know. He's a living dead now. Ah! I swing at him with Rabbit Punch, but Tokitaka skillfully pins the blade down with his anti-material rifle. That thing really is just like a naginata. Making good use of his weapon's long reach to get the upper hand is one of Tokitaka's hidden talents. Luckily, I happen to be an expert when it comes to close quarters combat. And dual-wielding chainsaws is my hidden talent. It's something not even his X-Brain should be aware of. As long as we keep this a quick one-on-one duel, I've got a clear advantage over him. Should have known. I cleave through the undead guards with my twin chainsaws, causing their extremities, arms, legs, and fingers to go flying through the air. Damn it. I can't keep up with him, though. A vital skill in any sniper's arsenal is their ability to secure an escape route. And Tokitaka's always been quick on his feet. Come here! He doesn't oblige me. Instead, I find myself staring down the barrel of his Osaka Water TFT-20. Tokitaka holds the rifle out in with one hand and fires back at me while still continuing to run forward. Your average shooter would never hit a target like that, but this is Tokitaka we're talking about. And he's wearing an X-Brain to boot. The reticle of his wire bodysuit automatically corrects his aim, allowing him to home in on me with expert accuracy, even while running. I give one of the ghouls a fierce kick, sending him flying. A moment later, I see his chest get ripped open by Tokitaka's bullet, followed by a spray of dusky red blood. The impact of the shot causes the bullet's trajectory to shift, allowing me to evade it by a hair's breadth. I'm not gonna get that lucky twice, though. Upon reaching the end of the hallway, Tokitaka fixes his aim at me. He's way off in the distance. I've got two options here. Hide or advance. Relying on pure instinct, I sprint down the straight hallway with all my strength. One of the ghouls reaches for me, but I slice her arm clean off. Then jump over the one that's trying to block my path. I keep on pressing onward, blowing away whoever gets in my way. I'm more than familiar with Tokitaka's skills. I also know that my X-Brain would never display a suggestion like this. But I keep going nonetheless. This makes no logical sense. I'm acting completely irrationally. but my instincts are telling me to go. And obeying my instincts is what I've always done. It's who I am.
Can't scream.
It's all good.
I mean, it's just zombie noises. It's not really screaming.
Yeah, close enough. The arm I could have sworn I'd lobbed off is still hanging from the female ghoul's side, connected by only a thin layer of skin. She latches onto my leg, briefly upsetting my balance. This could be bad. More and more living dead throw themselves at me. I continue shaking them off, but it's checkmate. There's no way Tokitaka would miss his mark in these conditions. I mean, I used to fight by his side. I know all too well what he's capable of. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that he's pretty much won the battle. However, my intuition's telling me it's not my time to die just yet.
I need to go now.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Bye, Momo.
Bye, Momo.
Please take care.
You too.
You too, Momo.
Have fun.
We will.
Bye bye, pyong pyong.
Pyong pyong.
Pyong pyong. With his entire body horribly mangled by bullets, Tokitaka lies on the floor in a dusky red pool of his own blood. Pieces of his X-brain light scatter around him, alongside fragments of his shattered skull and chunks of brain matter. His beloved Osogawara TFD-20, a gun more important to Tokitaka than his own life, has remained largely unscathed. It feels strangely fitting. MF399 waves at me through the broken window as Tokyo's harsh winds blow into the building. I noticed a 30mm quad mount autocannon, no doubt taken from the agency Strider, attached to its back. I made it in time. You're a real lifesaver, Sue. Another reason I had the whole building system shut down was to disable the armed pipe runners, preventing her from getting close from the outside. Worked out as intended. Go pick up Sophia in the back. Iria's on the floor above. On my way. I'm more or less aware of the situation. The pipe runner, operated by Sue, swiftly makes its way along the outer walls. Being outside the building means they'll be able to escape without running into any living dead. I briefly catch my breath before taking a good look at the corpse laying on the floor. Ichihara Tokitaka. He was one hell of an oddball. Ever since he was a kid, he both revered and detested Ikatsu, and he never tried to hide it. In that sense, I was actually a little envious of him. He just wasn't the same after the Megafloat incident, though. I almost got the impression that he wished he'd had sunk into the bottom of the ocean along with that city. But the reason I'm here right now is because of him. He saved me. One need not show mercy when re-eliminating the dead. All I can do is hope that his soul finds peace. As for me, I'm going to find the bastard that did this to Tokitaka and make him pay! That's a promise!
In the darkness of the room, Tokyo's glimmering scenery is all the more visible. The aircraft obstruction lights installed on the hot pipes. The headlight of taxis passing through the city like ants. The street lamps whose brightness shifts in accordance with the heat. The cold, white snow falls upon them equally. The heat being supplied to the hot pipes must have been affected by the system shutdown. As a result, the snow reaches all the way here without melting. The city is a blur of twinkling lights. Would I be moved by this scenery were I still alive? A set of familiar footsteps ring out in the distance, ring out in the silence. I've been waiting for them.
Done.
Ethica.
What happened to Mitsumin?
I killed her. Ethica holds a rabbit punch in each hand. How unusual.
Did you also kill Rorschach?
No, the Major General did. Her expression shifts.
Where's Kiriri?
At the top.
Stand aside.
You know I can't do that.
Because of my old man?
Correct. I tell her the truth. I was not forbidden from doing so. He ordered me to kill you.
Okay, fine. I'll take you on then. I'll be more than happy to re-eliminate you.
Ethica lunges at me with clear hostility in her eyes. Her two chainsaws roar like beasts. I await her with my twin re-eliminators in hand. My body follows my X-Brain's instructions, narrowly evading her swings. Though it may be a one-handed weapon, Rabbit Punch is not light. It's not just an ordinary piece of metal either, but a constantly rotating chainsaw blade, requiring utmost skill and precision from the wielder. Ethica likely trained herself to use two of them at once in secret, just in case. Her fighting style appears to be a modified form of CQAMA. Knowing that doesn't help much. It's the very definition of unorthodox. No ordinary person could wield two chainsaws at the same time like she does. Alert after alert keeps popping up. I know that unless I obey them without the slightest bit of delay, Ethica will swiftly re-eliminate me. However, I'm a living dead now. With my emotions gone, there's nothing holding me back anymore. I will not let my guard down.
Come on, what's wrong?
Nothing can affect me now. Not Ethica's hollow taunts, nor the howling of her chainsaws. She too should be aware of that. Yet she continues to do all these unnecessary things. Ethica would often act irrationally and take actions that aren't rooted in logic. She'd outright ignore suggestions from her X-Brain, intentionally go against its alerts, or refuse to even switch it on at all. Granted, she still managed to survive all her battles, but I can't help but think she would have had a much easier time against her enemies if she'd stopped being so stubborn and relied on her X-Brain. As for me, I've placed my complete trust in it. I've always yearned to become a machine that exists only to convert input into output. And right now, that's exactly what I am. The X-Brain tells me to punch, so I punch. It tells me to dodge, I dodge. It tells me to shoot, I shoot. My reactions have notably slowed compared to when I was still alive. But since my mind isn't clouded by obstructive thoughts, it doesn't affect my overall combat efficiency. Using the brief faltering in her movements to fire several consecutive shots, I inflict some damage to Ethica through her bulletproof coat. As the raw impact of the attack makes her flinch, I lunge forward like a swift wave and connect a fierce punch from my muzzle spikes. Ethica may be a wellspring of stamina, but at the end of the day, she's still only human. What's more, she's already been through several other battles before reaching me. The longer our fight is prolonged, the bigger my advantage will become. So why won't she switch on her X-Brain? It makes no logical sense. As I obey a suggestion and activate my MPP, I begin to think. This battle is likely nearing its conclusion. And yet, for some reason I don't want it to end. Why is that?
I'm getting my ass whooped! That's Nagaoka-san for you. Yes, he's good. Real good. At this rate, he's gonna completely overwhelm me. Should I cave and turn on my X-Brain? Oh no! There's no way I'm gonna beg that old man for help. That's just not happening. Ah! I'm not asking much. If I could slice into his arms or legs and slow him down, that'd be enough to turn the tide in my favor. But this guy, he's completely unfazed by everything I do. He keeps on deflecting my swings like it's nothing, then executes his counterattacks with calculated mechanical precision. His strikes are efficient. His defense is on point. He's not giving me a single opening. He's always wanted to become a machine that converts his X-Brain's input into output. Well, from the looks of it, his dream has come true. He feels no hesitation, no fatigue, throwing punch after punch. He moves almost like a tireless robot on an automated assembly line. It's exactly what he wanted. Guess I should be happy for him, right? Yeah, no, fuck that! The day Kiriri left to move into the military police's dormitory, I ran away from home. I couldn't stand the thought of having to live under the same roof as my old man without her around. I wandered the streets with no money, no food, the only clothes on my back to call my own. It was Karazumi taught who eventually found me and took me in. When I first met Son and Tokitaka, the Karazumi Living Dead Stalker agency, they'd already been rigorously trained in the ways of CQAMA. They both pretty much stayed the same over the following years, but Son in particular seemed almost completely immune to change. Well, the first time I met him, I thought he was some kind of robot. I even wondered if he had any emotions at all. He straight up acted like one of the living dead, you know? But as we spent time living together, I figured him out. It's not that he has no emotions at all. Deep down, he feels sadness and pain just like anyone else. It's just that the wires of his heart, so to speak, aren't all plugged in. He can't properly express his emotions. I've often wondered why he'd ended up like that. I mean, he's the son of Nagaoka Takayuki, the legendary close quarters armed martial artist. From time to time, Ikatsu would tell us stories about Takeyuki after we'd finished training for the day. Apparently, he was no match for the guy, but he always had a grin on his face when reminiscing about how he used to kick his ass. Even my old man could never shut up about how graceful and artistic his style of DQAMA was. It really makes me wonder how Son felt about his father. And why he uses DQAMA to fight. Why
won't you use your X-Brain?
So knocks one of the chainsaws out of my hand. Be told though, his words hurt me more than his kick did. God damn it! Now you're just playing dirty. Did my old man order you to do that?
No, it was my own decision.
Yeah, right.
Do you hate your father? Crystal? You there? Hello?
Seems like her everything shut down.
I see. The funny thing is that I was going to wait until like the end of this fight scene to end stream for the day. Just 2 hours today. But I didn't want to stop it here.
Well, shit happens.
I guess so.
But I was getting so enraptured too.
Marcus says it was Nagaoka's fault. Honestly, it feels like everything is. Almost everything can kind of be put at Takeyuki Nagaoka's feet here. Alright, well. He knew Ethica's weakness is her voice actress. Alright, I am gonna call it here though. Wild, do you think you could message Crystal, let her know? I'm sorry to cut things so abruptly.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on the lookout for that too today because we're heading deep into the winter, and Texas winter storms are historically not great. But hey,
Yeah, Alright, so I'm going to send you guys out to somebody once I see who's on. Nathan J. Caboose, who I recognize from, I think, Momo's server? Either Momo's or Eva's server. I need to triple check that. Eva's server. So, he's currently playing 100 Line, Last Defense Academy, and let's go, which, by the way, amazing game. I would love to stream that at some point, maybe. But that would be like far in the future at this point. Alright, get your raid messages ready. Your library raids. And until next time, everybody, may your stories grow ever more interesting. Farewell.
Bye!